This morning, lovers of contemporary art and culture have something to celebrate. After a decade of heavy lifting, we'll symbolically move some soil and sound notice that the new MOCA will soon come home to its birthplace, University Circle. The effort began over a decade ago when MOCA recognized the importance of relocating to University Circle, Cleveland's cultural heart, in order that we might reach our full potential. MOCA had a distinguished history, it had a loyal following, and it had great leadership. But MOCA had no money. Its programming was remarkable relative to its modest budget and compared to its even more modest endowment. And University Circle is not an easy destination to reach. You don't just walk up and buy land and build a building in this uniquely owned and governed principality. But we had a vision and a belief and optimism that all is possible when you do the right things the right way with the right friends in high places, like those you'll hear from today, who shared our hopes. The excitement is building, even among those of us who have been working on this for over a decade. At the core of every thriving urban center, you will find a dynamic, contemporary art museum that serves as a symbol of innovation, of creativity, and of risk-taking. In 18 months, Cleveland will have its symbol. The new MOCA will have arrived.
The New Yorker architecture critic Paul Goldberger, in his recent book, Why Architecture Matters, says, "We build in the end because we believe in a future. Nothing shows commitment to the future like architecture. And we build well because we believe in a better future, because we believe that there are few greater gifts we can give the generations that will follow us than great works of architecture, both as a symbol of our aspirations of community and as a symbol of our belief not only in the power of imagination, but in the ability of society to continue to create anew. To strive to make remarkable buildings is in its way an ethical as well as an aesthetic goal, because it is a sign that we believe our greatest places are still to be made and our greatest times are still to come. In that spirit, we believe MOCA is contributing a great building to Cleveland, one that will evoke feelings and emotions, animate social exchange, inspire creative expression, stimulate critical thinking, and above all, become a gathering place where people frequent often. A cultural destination, a unique environment that meets a need for unabashed contemporary culture not yet quite fulfilled in University Circle. Just short of 1 year ago, MOCA staff conducted an appreciative inquiry retreat led by David Cooper-Ryder. Many of you participated. We dared to dream big, even while knowing we weren't quite there yet. The energy and excitement then were palpable as we carved out our future. It made us realize how far we had come from our original home on Bellflower and the seeds sown by our founders, Marjorie Talalay, Nina Sundell, and Aggie Gund. We knew we had turned a corner when one funder looked around the room and exclaimed, "Of course they will succeed. Look who's showed up." And that is exactly what it takes, the strength of a community to pull together behind a vision.
We care about this for a lot of reasons. We care about MOCA, the organization, because of the contribution that it makes to the cultural vitality of Cleveland, and will be able to make in a much greater way in this new home. Because any thriving community needs the arts, and it needs a full range of the arts, from traditional organizations all the way to avant-garde organizations. And by moving MOCA into this exciting new home, it's really going to increase the sort of cutting edge end of the spectrum of activity for Cleveland. We also care about this project because we as a foundation care about what you might call placemaking. We care about University Circle, the place, but this very special place within University Circle, this intersection of Ford, Euclid, and Mayfield, is going to give the circle what it has long lacked, that sense of vitality, a kind of place where people come for reasons other than just to visit one of the great institutions. And by creating the transformed Institute of Art with the mixed-use development that we see being built today and the new MOCA, all combined into this small space within University Circle, all of us are going to start experiencing the Circle in a different way. We all love the Circle, but let's face it, we tended to experience it as a kind of archipelago of individual institutions where we'd go to one and leave, we'd go to another and we'd leave. This will start to give us a reason to come to the Circle as a place, and we'll start going to a restaurant here and walking to the art museum or to the orchestra and experiencing it differently. And that's important because successful communities are in a continual global competition for talent. And having vibrant urban places like this will become is an essential ingredient to the formula for attracting and keeping talent. And that's another important reason why what MOCA is doing, in combination with the other institutions in this intersection, is so important to the future of our community. You know, we're right here on Euclid Avenue, which has been totally transformed in the last couple of years. And if you go down it, you'll see among the many art installations the contemporary artist Nancy Dwyer's benches in several places along Euclid. And they say, depending on how you read them, things change, or change things. Now, I prefer that second interpretation, change things. And we in Cleveland have to acknowledge that we have to make many changes for us to successfully compete in very intense and continual global competition. Art has the power to change us, and contemporary art in particular, because of the way it forces us to see things differently and to think about things differently, forces us to confront that continual change that we must actually embrace. The new MOCA, through this building, through its programs, through its exhibits, is going to dare us to embrace that kind of continual change. And MOCA, if it can instill that spirit into our culture, a culture that, you know, all too often is a little slow to embrace change, then that's how MOCA will have its greatest impact.
I remember a few years ago, maybe more than a few years now, when it's first started becoming fashionable, at least as I recall in my lifetime, to start questioning the role of government support of the arts. And it was part of that dialogue that happened when there was questioning about funding through the National Endowment for Arts. And there's kind of two sides to American culture. There's the side of American culture that views things kind of from an accountant's perspective, that doesn't understand exactly what you're getting out of an investment in art and sees it as just an item on a balance sheet. And there's another side to American culture that has always understood it and has always understood that it's something that it makes sense to have government endorse and support because it ennobles and enriches our culture, and it's part of what makes us a great country. So on behalf of county government, I wanted to be here today and join you in this celebration because I want you to know that in terms of that debate that has ebbed and flowed in American society for many, many years, your county government is very firmly on the side of not just support, but very zealous advocacy for the arts. And we're going to do that in good times, and we're going to do that in bad times, because we're undergoing fiscal pressure like all elements of government are, but I can tell you that even in a difficult budgetary situation, the county isn't going to back off its support of arts and culture in this community. And I know I can speak for the county council as well. I know some of my county council colleagues are here also. And that's for reasons of things that we can't measure, as I mentioned, but also we also understand that it also does make economic sense as well to invest in the arts and culture, segment of our economy. We know that what's happened at University Circle is one of the great success stories really in the entire country. And one of the things that we have to start doing as a county and also as a region is really having an honest assessment of what we've done poorly, but also what we've done well. So one of the reasons I wanted to be here today also is to tell you that as your new county government tells the story of this area in this region and what we've succeeded at and what we've failed at, that what's happened here and what it continues to happen here, both in University Circle and the Uptown Project in particular, this is part of our success story. This is the story that we're telling about the greater Cleveland area, not just to ourselves, but as we spread that message across the state and really across the country. There are many people here who have made incredible contributions, and I also want to be here just to thank you for what you did and what you've continued to do. We love this area. We wouldn't be here if we didn't. We're not here for the weather. We're here because we love it here and we believe in it. And you've given us something to show that we really do have reason to believe in the years to come.
We at Case Western Reserve are delighted to be welcoming MOCA to the neighborhood. We are not looking for a new location at Case Western Reserve. We will be in University Circle forever. And so we are committed to this neighborhood and this wonderful place that we call home. We have an interest, therefore, in seeing its growth and development happen in ways that will enrich the life of our community and the people who enjoy University Circle. You can see now that so much of its potential is being transformed into visible reality. I mentioned the Uptown Project, and we are really excited about that. Our campus newspaper ran a recent editorial entitled "Moving On Up, Thanks to Uptown." And like our undergraduate students, I cannot wait to see Uptown open. The restaurants, the stores, the apartments have people living in them. The sense of dynamism begin to grow. We are on the cusp of a remarkable new day for University Circle, and MOCA is a huge part of that, and we are really excited.
There's no doubt that fine arts and cultural institutions like MOCA make our city a more attractive place to live, to visit, and to do business. They stimulate our minds, our hearts, and our souls, and enliven our economy. They give us an edge over cities we compete with for brain power, for resources, for opportunities. We all know that great art is comprised of myriad tiny elements and numerous efforts culminating in a singular and wondrous work. That's true of the thousands of brushstrokes that compose the old master paintings at the Cleveland Museum of Art. It's true of the welds and polish that bring texture and light and shadow to Teresita Fernandez's contemporary sculptures now on exhibit at MOCA. And we Clevelanders are seeing a similar culmination of efforts and elements in the further vitalization of this area we call Greater University Circle. And I'm sure I'm not exaggerating when I say we're witnessing the creation of a work of civic art on a truly grand scale.
And we want to be the bank that best helps Greater Cleveland redefine itself in the 21st century. We talk about that a lot. And the investment that PNC makes here today, I think, embodies that last aspiration very nicely. Investment is the right word. It's a lot more than lending money. And it begins, I think, to give the community a sense of what PNC is all about when we are at our best, when we share with the community the breadth and depth of what we're able to do.
The first time I went to MOCA was at an opening of an exhibit, and I got it immediately. What the institution, first of all, the exhibit moved me, and as David said, made me think about art and think about things a little bit differently. And I also immediately recognized the creativity of that opening, the people, the interaction, the spirited debate, the smiles and the perplexed looks. And that's what art does in a community. And it's really has changed my life and my wife's life and our pocketbook quite a bit. But it's played a special role. And that's what I see MOCA being. Someone said, why are you guys creating a new structure, a new building? And I said, contemporary arts plays such a vital part of the tapestry of a community. Our future, as everyone has talked about, is wedded to attracting creative people. Engineers, artists, entrepreneurs. And creative people need institutions like this. In our own business, selfishly, we recruit people from all over the country to come here. And having institutions like this help in so many ways. And selfishly, someday when I want my children to go off to college and they come back, or maybe they'll stay here at Case Western, now that I'm sitting next to the president, I might be able to get them in. But when they come back, I want them to stay. And institutions like this will assure that. So in a typical creative MOCA fashion, we're going to have an interpretive groundbreaking.
1, 2, 3.
Go!
One more?